Hey family, how you doing? How you doing? How you doing? How you doing? Happy Women's Herstory Month. Not history, her story. I am so glad to be with you guys today. I have a very, very important person. Well, you see her name is up now, so you'll see who it is. And I want to interview her today. But first things first, I want to welcome you to the comfort zone. This is the place where you can determine whether you're ready to step out of your comfort zone or not. Remember, you're right either way. I am your host, Donna E. Williams, the owner of Donna's Touch LLC, where everything I touch comes from the heart. Today's episode is a special one for me and for Women's Herstory Month. She's one of my favorite people being interviewed today. Let me tell you a little bit about her. Ariana E. is a 23-year-old queen on the rise. She has accomplished many things in her young life. Born in Brooklyn, New York, to a mom from Panama and has Bayesian and Jamaican roots. She has developed a love for forensics since the age of 9 and has maintained hyper focus on achieving her goal of becoming a crime scene investigator. Her work ethic sets the example to follow when you are on the journey to greatness. Her prior work experiences consist of babysitting, lifeguard, cashier, brief internship at Harrisburg Police Department, and resident assistant. From her first job until the present, she has always held two or more jobs. She had Liman, you know what I mean? Only true people know what that means. Hard work is in her DNA. She graduated from Doane Academy in 2020 and started her college education journey on the Harrisburg University campus in 2020 to pursue her degree in forensic science. In 2022, she was voted to become the president of CASA, Caribbean and African Student Association, in addition to being a resident assistant and working a part-time job. She graduated in 2024 with a degree in forensic science and began the process of becoming a full-time police officer, her present position. She believes that the work experience she has gained will help make her a well-rounded police officer in the CSI. Ariana loves spending time with her family and friends, traveling and enjoying the warmth of the sun. Ladies and gentlemen, I present to you my baby girl, my goddaughter, Ariana Clue.
Hey y'all.
Hi. Listen, this is good for me. I love this. You know that I get a chance to interview you because it's Women's Herstory Month, and I wanted the audience to encounter someone as young as yourself that is in the, as far as I'm concerned, you're on the road, you're on the path to creating your own history, to
Mm.
be a part of women's history in Women's History Month. So, what better way to get it started in 2026 than to talk with you? So, we're just going to get right into it. I'm glad you're here. Thank you that you made time for us, sister.
Oh wow. Oh wow. I'm happy to be here.
For me. But anyway, I got some very important questions I want to ask you, and I want you to be as honest as you want. I'm not really going to give you a timeline on how to answer the questions or how long it takes. You could depending on the question, it could be a long answer, short, whatever works for you. Okay.
Okay.
Right. So, well, I'm just going to get right into it because I want to talk about your your interest. How did you what first sparked your interest to become a crime scene investigator?
If I'm being honest, CSI Miami was like one of my favorite shows growing up. So that I feel like a lot of things just tied together into like deepening my interest into forensics because I like mysteries in the first place. I like, problem solving and puzzles. Growing up, I loved a good mystery book. So there was that. Um and inherently like mystery books, a lot of them are also kind of like crime related, like law, you know what I'm saying? Like not true crime because they're like a lot of them are fictional, but so mystery books, CSI Miami. The main character in CSI Miami is Horatio Kane. I wanted to be Horatio Kane like bad because he was able to draw down on the suspects, do the interviews, and analyze the evidence all in one episode. I'm like, oh yeah, I want to do that. Reality check. That is not a position. That's we can't do. We can't do it all. It's one of the other basics nowadays. But that
Yeah.
and when I was still going to school in New York, we actually had a field trip to this exhibit called CSI The Experience, that was in the city. So basically you got to be like the people in CSI, like analyze evidence. You went through different crime scenes and you got to play the role of them and try to figure out what happened. So I was just like really interested in this stuff. I know originally I wanted to do forensic science until I realized as I was getting older, forensic science is really lab oriented, and that's not what I wanted to do. I wanted to be in the field. Um, Cooped up in the lab all day is not my dream life. So I was like, yeah, no. What I really wanted, I realized what I really wanted to do was forensic investigation. I want to, you know, lift prints and take pictures and put up the crime scene tape and all. But yeah, that's pretty much what sparked it.
Okay, okay. So when did you well I guess you kind of explained when you felt it was your calling because when you started watching the show you wanted to be like Horatio Kane. So I
Mhm.
get that part. But as a young woman of color, what does this path mean to you?
Um, it just means doing what you want to do, no matter, what I'm saying, what anyone really has to say about it. Like, I understand you don't see a lot of black or brown women in this field, but that means what at the end of the day? You get what I'm saying? Like, just because I look like this doesn't mean I can't do it or I can't achieve it. Um, it's just like you can do whatever you set your mind to, pretty much. Um, so yeah, just breaking down barriers and still doing what I want to do, regardless of what anyone's used to or what they say I can or cannot do. Because I know, like, currently in the job I'm at now, I think I'm the first black woman at the department in a very long time. Like, one of the officers who retired actually said, like, "You're history." I was like, "Really? I am?" I don't know when the last time they had a full-time like black female officer. All the black officers are male. So stuff like that, you know what I'm saying? Is just being myself, just putting in the work and doing what I got to do, gets you in positions like this, opens doors.
And and see that's what I'm saying. So as we're doing this in 2026, and I don't know how. I mean, things like video and digital and all that stuff is probably going to last forever. But and what I'm thinking of when I hear you speak is like you're opening doors. You're creating your shoulders is going to be what somebody else is going to stand on. At some point to be able to move into a space that is like you just said. There's not too many black and brown women in these spaces. So these
Mm,
are kind of like doors that you're opening and you're creating. And for the place that you're working right now to say that you were probably the first or they haven't had one in a long time in your history. That's
mm,
and that's something that you'll be able to add to your credit as you move on into your journey, into your career. So
mm,
I got this right. It's right. So I want to talk about your journey. I want to really talk about the journey. I describe you as hyper focused.
mhm.
And if you know, you know. That's all I got to say. So, what does that look like in your daily life?
In my daily life, it really just means like doing what you got to do, like even when you don't feel like doing it. It's probably like sounds really stupid when I explain what I'm about to explain, but there's been plenty of times where I just realized, like on my lazy days, like say I still have clothes to wash, or fold, or both. Or like I have a list of adulting to do, and I hate the adulting task. I'm like, but I think to myself, and I'm like, it's so interesting that like things really don't happen unless you do it. Like things do not get done unless you do it. The pile of clothes is gonna sit on my floor forever until I get up and fold them. Like they're not gonna move and fold themselves. That's why I said it sounds really stupid and really simple, but it really just comes down to that. Like in order to check the things off your list, you just gotta do the heavy sigh and get it done. Because it's gonna stay on your mind. Is that box is gonna stay unchecked until you do it. So you might as well just go ahead and do it. Like let's get this over with. So that's really what it comes down to. Just tackling things I got to do as soon as possible and trying not to fall back into that procrastinating, lazy
Oh,
spirit. Sometimes it's
I
good.
don't want to do it. I don't want to do it
Yeah.
now.
And you know, I'm a
You're
big
right.
procrastinator. You know, that's,
No,
yeah.
no bigger than me. No bigger than me. We about
I,
equal in that. But I think
I,
I got you beat. But I understand. That's right. It doesn't get done. It doesn't get done. You're absolutely correct. So what did you have to say no to in order to say yes to this dream?
um, crime. Let me let me elaborate on that. I'm not inherently a criminal or anything, but you know, there's stuff when you're
Is
young.
there something you want to tell me?
No, ma'am. But you know, there's stuff when you're young that everybody wants to go do and things of that nature. And you gotta be like, nah, I can't get into that because I know what I want to do, and I'm not gonna jeopardize that for something stupid now. Like when me and Alondra's my bestie for the rest of you all. We wanted to apply for this internship for the FBI, but in order to do it, they said you couldn't have smoked like a year within the application date. So um I don't know if we would have made a year, but we stopped. Like we were smoking weed in college. It's college, y'all. Don't get on me. Don't get on me.
No judgments. No judgments. No judgments in here.
No judgment zone. We like that. Um, but you know, it's college. We was smoking weed with our roommates, our friends from time to time. And then I was like, oh no, we gotta cut this out. And I'm thankful I never really had a vice. I never really needed to rely on smoking or drinking or things of that nature to, you know what I'm saying, to get through life. So I was just able to drop it. So stuff like that, or like going to the academy, that's like 5.5 months straight where you got to be locked in. You can't go nowhere. You can't do nothing stupid on the weekends because you know that can mess up your opportunity. And now you're getting kicked out the academy. And if only y'all knew how much it takes to get there, to start over is like devastating. Like, dang. Um. So yeah, just choosing like not do stupid stuff. You know, like it comes it's as simple as like not driving drunk. Like if I'm no I'm tore up from the floor up, we're not getting in the car. Well, and I'm not letting the next person get in the car either. Because little stuff like that will change your life like forever. So things like that, you know?
Yeah, making very conscious and intentional choices, right? Basically, right? So when you realize you had to say no to some things in order for you to be able to pursue what it is that you're looking for. You were looking ahead and not yes.
Also, choosing not to be friends with people like on Instagram or stuff like that because they're hanging with the wrong crowd. So like
Mm.
even saying no to being associated with certain people, I had to do things like that. That's to not
Wow.
jeopardize my position. Yeah, because like, ooh,
Yeah, right. Oh boy, because this is the age you're growing up in. This is the age that you're maturing in. When we were younger, we didn't have to worry about that because we didn't have the kind of social media or the access that you guys have now to be able to see and do everything, and actually have employers looking at your socials to see what you're doing before they even hire you, and
yeah.
that can cause a lot of that can cause people to make different decisions. So yeah, you have to be clear on that. Glad you clarified that, especially the social media part. And so, because the people that will be listening to this are younger people, I'm hoping that there'll be people around your age or maybe just a little older, but maybe younger than you that are looking to pursue certain things in their life and need to know what are some of the things that they should or should not do in order to achieve their goal. And one of the things you talked about was making the correct choices. That's very important to know what it is you want to go, what you want to do, and who you need to be around. Mm, that's important.
Hmm.
So you said, well, you already answered this one. What does discipline look like on the days you don't feel motivated? You already said you just got to go, just do it. You just do it, Leo. Like Nike said, just
Yep,
do it.
Nike.
So, but I want you to say, what was one of the hardest moments what were some of your hardest moments while earning your forensic science degree?
Um, Physics was hard. Physics was whooping my butt at one point, but that
Really?
also comes down to like, all right, I really got to lock in and study and like get with people so that we can understand what's going on, um, so that I could pass. And I think I did pass physics with an A at the end of the day. Um, Chemistry was a little hard at first. Actually, I think chemistry was one of those ones that was hard throughout, but there were a good amount of concepts that I was able to understand, and it's like, okay, I'm getting it. Overall, though, getting my degree, my hardest time was definitely my junior year when I was juggling. I was like wearing five different hats that year. Man, um, full-time student, and it's my junior year, so this is really where you got to lock in, um, set things in place for when you graduate, so that senior year is smooth sailing. You really looking into what you want to do, how you want to do it, internship because our college required us to have an internship, and then we also have a research project that we have to do. It's literally just called project. So there's project one, which is kind of the more written research part of it, and project two is like applying all of that to a physical thing, depending on
Mm-hmm.
your major.
Mm-hmm.
Uh, so yeah, junior year, full-time student. I was working at Dick's Sporting Goods part-time. I was also my first year as an RA. So depending on the night, I had like a mandatory RA shift on top of other RA duties, like creating events and going around room to room, making sure people are getting along, like roommate dialogues, basically. And then I was also the president of a club called Caribbean and African Student Association. Yes. And we were putting on a huge event. It's called Night in Africa. And in previous years, it was kind of like lacking. Like no one was really, the social life isn't really big at my college. So I was like, nah, we're gonna do this right. Like they was doing the event in like the auditorium where they let people go when they're touring the school and give presentations. Like that's boring. We need to rent out an actual space and get dance groups and vendors and all this jazz. We need someone to cater it. So I was an event planner for that. That was crazy. Um, and I feel like, am I missing something? I worked at
Mm-hmm.
X. I was an RA. I was the president, and I was a student. Yes.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, and I think I did my internship that I was an intern. Yes. Yeah.
Oh, with Harrisburg Police, you did the
Yeah,
internship then?
with the criminal investigation division,
Yeah.
yeah.
Yeah. Oh, wow. Okay.
And
Okay.
that's so spring semester specifically is when things were really hitting the fan because my internship was in spring and the event for CASA was also in spring. So I'm getting the dance routines, the set lists of what's going on. I was a DJ. Like I put together the mix for the fashion show. We doing the practices for the fashion show, like who's gonna walk with who and what they're gonna do. There was a lot going on that year, but it all paid off. Like that event was a success. Everyone loved it. They loved the food, the performances, the music. Everyone knows, like, yeah, Ariana did that. And it hasn't been that good since. It wasn't that good before. Thank you.
You
Anyways,
set a standard. You set a standard. And you see, that's what I mean about hyper focus, y'all. See? You heard what she just said. I read most of that in her bio. I did not know that most of that occurred in junior year. So she just clarified. Wow. Okay.
um,
Okay. Yes.
and junior year. was I had my highest GPA that year. I think it was I think it was over a 4.0. I'm not sure. All I know is that was my highest GPA that year. So I did well in all my classes. I didn't face any like disciplinary action at work. I went to all my shifts at Dick's Sporting Goods. I did good as an RA, put on events, did my shifts, getting mail and all that jazz. The event was good. I went to all my scheduled shifts at the internship. They said I was a good intern. I did my job. I got to participate in some stuff. So it was it was a good time. Like it was stressful for sure throughout, but it's like a high risk, high reward type thing.
Yes,
It was a
yes.
lot going on and a lot up here to keep track of, but we did it and we exceeded. And I got the applause, I got the pats on the backs. Can't complain.
No,
I do it
not
again.
at all.
I probably do
You
it.
you tell you I tell you you get it honest too. You
Mhm.
put it together. That's what your mom and I used to do, planning the backyard parties and all that stuff. So you get the event planning quite honestly. So we understand. I definitely understand. But I want to talk a little bit. I want to transition a little bit to about basically breaking barriers for you because at this age you're 23 and I don't know all the experiences that you've had being you and living your life and doing the things that you've done. So I just wanted to maybe help the audience to understand a little bit like what does it mean for you to walk in this space when a lot of people don't look like you. What do you hope that would do you ever feel underestimated and what does it look like for you to walk in this space?
Um, we'll answer the walk-in spaces one first, and then I'll answer underestimated. So it means a lot to me, actually. It's such a good feeling when I go like on a call and like there's other black people or whoever called is black, and they're like, "Yes, I love this. I love that you're the one who came," or even just walking in the street, they were like, "Okay, female officer, black female officer." Like people notice me because you don't see many female officers, one, let alone black female officers. I know like one call I went to, it was me and my coworker, black male officer, and we're always recording. We have the body cam. So the guy who called, it was funny. He was like, he pointed to both of us, and he was like, "I like this." And you know what's understood don't got to be said. Like we know what he meant by that. Just the fact that there's people of color on the force. You know what I'm saying? Um, so it feels good, and it feels like I get to be a positive role model. That's why I'm excited for the summer because I get to hang out with the kids and see where their minds is at and like hoop with them or something, like change people's perspective on police officers as well because I know how I operate and it's with good intentions and it's to inspire, spread peace, love, because we don't know what these kids are being what's it called, exposed to at home or at school,
Right.
even with their own friends. Like it just be the blind leading the blind, but it's like because they're kids. So um just being that difference in what they're used to seeing or hearing, like that's what it's all about. I feel like because cops have a bad rep, really bad rep. So I
Okay.
want to be a part of the change in that
Okay.
representation for real.
Okay.
So yeah, it means a lot um to stand out and be noticed in that aspect because people appreciate seeing me. And when I was working at the other police department, even I wasn't even full time, I was definitely getting a lot of love then. Just being able to connect with the members of the community because a lot of them are black and brown, and the police department is mainly white. So it's like there's always going to be some level of disconnect just off of different like culture
Culture.
and upbringing, yeah, and like different norms, like societal norms within our community. So
Mm-hmm.
seeing someone that looks like you on the other side is like, oh, okay. That means I could probably chop it up with her cooler than or better than this other officer no tea, no shade to the white people, but like I could probably get along or have a better rapport with this officer than that officer because she's gonna know where I'm coming from. Just just off of me being probably a woman, like if it's a black woman or me being black. Um, but then I also for me is like I can't get caught lacking because I stand out. So
Folks is watching you.
yeah, I
Folks
gotta
are paying attention. Yes.
gotta be on my A game because they're gonna be like, yeah, it was the black female officer. They're gonna be like, all right, yeah.
Yeah. How many of those are we talking about? Right.
Right, I'm the only one in the department. They're gonna be like, yeah, say no more. You ain't,
Yeah.
you ain't gotta say no more.
Yes. Yes.
Um, but yeah, that was a lot of words to really say like something short. It
No,
means
no
a lot
problem.
to
You're
be the
fine.
um. And
The underestimated part, right?
yes,
Hmm.
have I ever felt underestimated? Yes. More so, it's like as a person though, not in my job. I don't think I've been underestimated any of my jobs. Maybe not. Actually, I have. Um, I know like at my current job, I tell them I can speak Spanish, which I can. I'm not fluent, but folks ain't had faith in me. So one time I translated a call and they had Google Translate ready on the side, but I did it without error. Like I was able to get the point across, and he was like, oh wow. I was like, yeah, I told y'all I spoke some Spanish. Like, you have no faith in the kid? Crazy. But on a bigger level, yeah, I felt underestimated just because, like, by men. I think it's because I am a woman. Um, I don't think it has I think it's because I'm a woman who like knows what she wants to do and for the most part how she wants to do it. I don't have the answers to everything. I'm not perfect. Never claimed that I was. But people see that and they get intimidated or they start thinking too much about what they got going on in their life. You know how many times I had to tell people like everyone's journey is not the same. Do not compare yours to mine because what's meant for me is meant for me. What's meant for you is meant for you and it don't have to be interchangeable. Like just because I'm doing this doesn't mean you have to do it. Or I'm going about it this way doesn't mean you have to go about it that way. We all had different upbringings, different beginnings, different experiences. Every little decision you've made up until here has, what I'm saying, brought you to this point. We're not twins. You know what I'm saying? Like, and even if we were, twins don't do every single thing exactly the same. They're still different people at the end of the day. Your story is
That's why
your
they're friends.
story,
Yes,
right?
yes, yes.
So I respond to it just by like doing what I know I could do. Like you underestimating me is an issue, not a me. I have nothing to do with that. I already knew what I could do. So
It's up to you to figure it out. It's up to the other person to figure out what they need to do, right?
yeah, like
Yeah.
now you just know what to expect next time. Don't underestimate me again.
So what would you want? And I mean, I'm gonna ask. I mean, I've asked some other questions, or I have some other questions that kind of like tie into this. But it's like, what do you want young black girls to see when they look at you?
Um, mm, strength, but vulnerability at the same time. You know, a little balance. Too much of anything is bad. So, um, you could, like I said earlier, you could do anything you put your mind to, but you also don't have to, like trample over people to get there. You can still have your soft side and remain in your femininity while conquering the world. Who said you can't have both? So that's is that all I want to say on that? Yeah, I think so.
That's fine because there are other questions that you can be able to elaborate a little bit more on in that because I have some series of questions to ask in that. But The next one I want to ask you is what do you do? Because you was like, I don't want to be doing the adulting stuff. So I love this. This is one of my good questions. What? Woo! Don't call me, y'all. Do not call me. None of y'all. What
Mm.
does what do you do when life feels overwhelming?
Um, take care of it. Like, it's funny, I get asked questions like that, like, what do you do when you're stressed? Um, Sometimes the answer is go to sleep. We're just gonna go to sleep.
You
We'll
said
leave
go
it
to
this way.
sleep. You
Yes.
think?
We're gonna take
Okay.
a nap. We're gonna take a break. We're gonna take a breather and just we'll come back to this because absolutely not. Um, Other times it take care of the issue. Like the same thing with earlier. Like it's not gonna get done until you do it. So I'm just gonna handle what it is and try my best not to worry about what I cannot control. If I can control it, it
Mm,
doesn't make sense to waste too much energy on it because like there's nothing you can do about it anyway. We might as well just focus on what we can handle right now, and then whatever else we cross that bridge when we get there. Maybe we could do some damage control later after, you know what I'm saying?
yes.
But
Yes.
for the most part, if it cannot be directly affected by like your actions or immediately affected by your actions or you doing whatever it is you want to do to solve the issue, it's not. We might as well just let that go. So yeah,
Mm.
doing what I can to eliminate the problem from overwhelming me, or yeah, or if it's something I can't control, just let it go. Like,
What do you think keeps you grounded?
I don't know, to be honest. I was thinking about this question earlier. I think I want to say music. I love music. Ooh, I love music bad. All types of music from all different eras. Donna knows. I have music. I listen to music from the 50s.
I mean, her
Um,
playlist. She got stuff on her playlist. I'm like, what are you doing with that? You weren't even born. What are you doing? she got some. She got some pretty good playlists, y'all. I just got to say, she's right. She's very, very eclectic. I want to say when it comes to the music scene. Right?
mhm. Maybe music.
Okay.
Yeah,
So you think? Yeah.
um, I feel like it's been a hard day if I didn't get to listen to enough music. Like there will be times where like there's a lot going on that week or whatever the case is, and I just sit and realize I was like, I didn't listen to a lot of music. Hold on, let me put that on. Life can't never be that hard. I need to throw on some tunes. What are we doing? But other than that, like on the day to day, I don't know what what keeps me grounded per se. Like when you say grounded, like grounded versus what? Like losing it? Like tweaking out?
No, I mean just basically like I think you answered it with the music because that's what helps you, what helps center you. You know, music grounds me as well. I listen to music almost all the time. I very rarely watch television because the stimulation and sometimes it's just I don't want that. I want to hear music. I want to hear sounds. I want to hear beats. I want to hear and these are the things that really make me feel calmer. So I'm just talking about like not from losing it, but just being grounded? What are the things that help you feel like, okay, I'm good? Like you said, when you had a bad week, you didn't listen to enough music, you start listening to some music to put you in a better frame of mind, right? So, would I be accurate
Yeah,
with saying that?
yeah. And also, again, just getting stuff done. Oh my gosh, just get it done. I hate feeling like overstimulated by tasks. And the best way I can describe it is a computer, like a browser open with way too many tabs. I don't even like the look of it on on my own computer screen. If I have too many tabs open, I'm going through them to see what I can close out because this a million tabs open means I got too much to do. Like there's so I need to just I need to go to each tab, see what I need to do, and close it out. Because the less tabs means I'm almost done, and the better. And then I can just close out the browser entirely. So when I'm overstimulated, I feel like when anyone's overstimulated really or overwhelmed, it feels like a computer with too many tabs open because then the computer get to slowing down because it has a million things running at once. Then the fan kick on. So now the computer sounds like it's on airplane mode because it's trying to cool down. It's getting too hot. Like it's it's doing a lot. And you know how you eliminate that? By closing out them tabs, getting the work done on each tab so you could close it out and shut everything down. So you give the computer a break so it can cool out. So it's literally like I gotta get stuff done. Like when I'm overwhelmed at work, I got a whole bunch of stuff to do. I make a list in my head and I'm like, all right, I need to get this done. I need to get this done. I need to get this done. Let me just do it in this order. Because I know sometimes I also find myself, that's how the tabs get open in the first place. I find myself like starting all these things and then you feel overwhelmed because like you started these things, but nothing's finished. I like I like the satisfaction of finishing the task. It really don't mean anything if you got
Yeah.
all the tabs open. I want to close them out. So
Yes.
then I gotta recenter. That's what I'm saying. Like reground myself and be like, all right, we have 8 things open right now that we started. Let me just finish each one at a time and work through it.
Yeah.
And then we're okay. We're good again.
Yes, that's good. That's good advice. That's great. That's great because I had to learn to stop opening so many tabs. That's what I had to do. I had to learn to stop opening so many tabs. Remind myself we got to stay focused on this task, finish this task because sometimes within that task there's a lot of subtasks within the big one, and you want to be able to tackle that so that you can close out that tab. So I'm totally with you on that. That's a great analogy. That was an awesome analogy. So I appreciate that. But hey, I want you to talk to the young queens out here that will be listening to this and watching it. And like I said, I don't know over what period of time because these YouTube videos are gonna be forever. I'm glad you're looking good.
It's that's funny.
I want you to talk to the young queen. So if a young queen says, I don't think I'm smart enough for that, what would you say to her?
I would first ask her why she feels like that. And then um try and work through that. And then ultimately just be like, you absolutely are. So once again, this goes like to comparing um people and things and journeys. I feel like most people who saying that probably compared themselves to someone who they think is smarter based on factors different than their own. So I would say yes, you are. And some people it comes to them naturally. Some people gotta work harder at it. But that doesn't mean you're not smart. You just gotta you gotta apply yourself a little more. Put in extra work.
Mm-hmm.
It's like, doing a math equation. There might be a million ways how to get to the answer, but y'all both got the answer. So it is what it is. Like, right? So
Cool.
yeah, I would definitely just reaffirm her and tell her like, absolutely not. You can't even speak down on yourself like that. Um, just understand that you might need a little more work to get to where you are compared to the next person, and that's okay.
Mm-hmm. It's okay. They got to be okay with that. Oh, okay. Cool. So what are the first 3 steps someone should take if they want to follow your path?
Hmm. Well, I guess figure out what exactly they want to do. Like how I said, I thought I wanted to do forensic science, but then I realized it was actually forensic investigation that I wanted to do.
Right. Mm-hmm.
So figuring out what exactly you want your day to day to look like, um, and then find like a job title that matches most of those, tasks and responsibilities. Um,
That's
and,
2.
oh yeah, and when it comes to forensics, finding what discipline you want to focus on also falls into that because there's a lot of forensic disciplines like odontology, uh, pattern analysis, toxicology, trace evidence. There's a whole bunch of different stuff. So you can find a job where you just focus on that discipline, right? But yeah, I would say find out specifically what you want to do. Mm, figure out what steps are necessary to get there. Like, what are the different paths you can take to reach this goal or career or whatever the case is? Because I know for me, like depending on where you live and what department you work for, how you become a CSI or criminal investigator is different. There's multiple paths to get there. You just gotta figure out which path you want to take and what suits your journey, your circumstances.
Okay.
So,
All right. Thank you for that. That was good. So, what habits helped you succeed that others might overlook?
mm, we're gonna sound like a broken record here.
The discipline?
Definitely getting it done. Get her done. Um, that just boils down to practicing delayed gratification.
Hmm.
Um, there's this TED Talk video that I really liked. I've watched it a few times. It was like the mind of a master procrastinator, and it breaks down procrastinating like really and like a nice analogy, like in a nice way, and how he describes how it makes you feel when you procrastinate is exactly how I felt. Um, and it was also talking about basically like delayed gratification versus instant gratification. A lot of times when you're procrastinating or there's something you don't want to do, you're seeking instant gratification. Like you want to chill, but you want to chill right now, which is why you don't want to do what you want to do. But
Yes.
but on the flip side of that, if you do what you have to do right now, you can chill for even longer later without the guilt in the back of your mind that you didn't do what you were supposed to do.
Yeah.
And I
You got
felt
to
that
send me that TED
exactly.
talk.
Yes, I felt that in high school when I was procrastinating hard because like, yeah, we chilling, but I gotta stop the chill session to do what I needed to do anyway. And then it's just like, and then the closer and closer it gets to a deadline and you still ain't do what you were supposed to do, it's like, ah, dang, pressure's on. Now, apparently I perform well under pressure though, because I could do an assignment last minute and get an A. But that's my problem now. I could do something last minute and still do well on it, which is that bad side. I mean, procrastinating is bad overall, but that's really what exit on is that you've procrastinated and succeeded. So you're like, ah, it's fine.
I'm good. I'm good.
Right.
Right. Yeah.
Because if it comes down to it, I know I could do it. But we don't want to put ourselves in
Mm,
that position.
right. Right. Right.
So definitely, that's probably the biggest habit. Just doing what I got to do and get as soon as possible. Just get out of the way, so I don't have to be bothered by it no more. And then I can move on to the next thing, or I could relax.
Right. Good. Love it. Love it. All right. So, and when I thought about this, because I said, well, I don't know if it was too young or if you're too young to even ask you this question, but I said, let me put it out there and see what you think of it and how you would respond to it. So, what kind of legacy are you building at just the right tender age of 23?
Mm, hmm. Um,
What do you want people to know? What do you want them to remember about you?
that you know, I'm a hard worker, good person, and positively impacted people.
Mm,
Mm, and yeah, as Aaliyah said, there's gonna be a positive motivating force within your
yeah,
life.
yeah,
That's pretty much it.
yes, yes,
Yeah,
yes.
I did what I did what I needed to do. Did my job. Did it did it well. Stuff like that. Yeah.
How do you see that affecting your community? How do you want to impact your community with the legacy that you're building? What do you see that? How do you see that looking?
It starts with the youth,
Mm,
the little ones. Um, just showing them that, like I said earlier, you can do whatever you want. You just gotta apply yourself. Um, and showing them that who knows what they've been showed or exposed to, I should say. If they're
right.
they're being exposed to, figures in different careers and like police or EMS, firefighter or lawyer, doctor or whatever, that is great. I'm glad that they've already been exposed to it and they know what's out there. But for the kids who haven't, just be like, yeah, you could be that person and tell them you could do this too. Like it really ain't nothing. It's not as far-fetched as you think it is. Um,
Hmm.
yeah, getting the kids outside, um, spending time with each other, exploring, traveling is, I feel like, underutilized. A lot of people haven't left their town.
Mm.
So it's like, well, a lot of people, yeah, a lot of people haven't left like the United States. Like, I remember growing up, I thought having a passport was normal, was like standard. Like everyone had a passport. I was, so yeah, I got older and realized like, oh, you gotta apply for this. Like, not everyone has one. Like, I guess you don't really need one if you don't travel. So it's stuff like that. So I'm glad my mom exposed me to that as well. But yeah, just putting the youth on
Yeah.
that like there's so much the world is so much bigger than your backyard. And
Hmm.
there's a lot of ways to make money and be happy while doing it.
Yeah. Need to look at right. Need to look at that. Oh my gosh, that is so cool. That is so cool. So thinking into the future, where do you see yourself 5 to 10 years from now?
Just living comfortably and enjoying what I do. I don't want to have to worry about like nothing money wise. I don't need to be rich, but I don't want to like penny pinch either. You know, we going shopping not checking price tags. That's where I'm trying to be at. But still financially responsible, y'all. Please be financially responsible. Um,
That's another podcast. Talking
but
about finances, yes, the financial. It's easier said than done for a lot of people,
mhm,
and yeah. So you understand that? Yeah, that's it.
yes. So yeah, live comfortable, enjoy what I do on a day to day. Like I'm not miserable at work. Blech. And hopefully I got a little lover, maybe a kid, you know, a
Ooh, one,
small little family.
two.
No, it's getting real ghetto in the world. So I don't know, child.
Yes, yes. Don't stress your brain about it. I understand. I do. I really do. Because I've been talking to a few people, so I understand the sentiment of how things are in the world and how people are showing up and what they're doing and how they are moving, and it's
Mhm.
making it really difficult, unfortunately, for young people to really find someone that they can connect with and really be honest and vulnerable, like you said in the beginning, about who they are and where they're going in their life. So,
Yeah, I don't know if I want to. It's like 50-50. I don't know if I want to bring like kids into this world. It depends on where it
mm,
goes. But
yeah.
it's like at the same time, I do want to carry on like my last name because I think the only people left in my family where our last name is like women. So if they get married, like they're either gonna get their man's last name if they don't
Ooh.
choose to keep their own. So so stuff like that. Like I think I'm even at a place where if I get married, I'm gonna keep my name. Like,
Yeah, yeah, yeah,
yeah.
yeah. I understand. I get it. I get
Mhm.
it. I get it. Okay. Finish the sentence. I am a young queen who refuses to.
Um, hmm, How do I make this like short and sweet? I kind of want to say back down. Like, who refused to back down to anybody? But it's also like, you know what I'm saying? But it's funny because I'm not like a person big on conflict. Like,
Hmm.
I don't want that to mean I'm gonna fight everybody on everything. It's just more so because I'm definitely a pick your battles type of person. Not everything needs a response or argument. But like, yeah, I refuse to back down on something like, ah, I have the words for it. Because yeah, I think back down is a good one in terms of advocating for myself. I always advocate for myself. And I feel like a lot of people don't advocate for themselves enough. They tell me they went through something and I'm like, well, did you do this? Did you do that? Did you ask this? And it's like they stopped prematurely and just like took the L. Hold on now. And that's what this is also part of the A, pick your battles, and B, handling what you can control. Because some things you're not in control of. You're not in control of, you know, how other people act or how they perceive you. But um if I can advocate for myself enough to, what I'm saying, to possibly change the outcome of something, I mean, why not? Like, a good story for that is when it comes to the academy, I almost didn't go to the academy I was supposed to go to at the time I was originally supposed to go to it. So I was supposed to go to, well, the academy I did go to was the original. So I was supposed to start in July, but then it was a possibility that I was gonna have to start in August and go to a different academy. And I wasn't gonna go with the people with the other recruits I was supposed to go with. I was gonna have to go with they was gonna have to basically separate the group. So they was gonna pick one of the other recruits to go with me to this other academy because the current academy didn't have enough spots basically for all of us to go. And that was really like that made me cry. I was like, no, I cannot work. I do not want to work 3 jobs another month. Like I was set on going at this time at this academy with these people. Like that's that. Um, and because I didn't give up on myself, maybe that should be a better thing. Like a queen who refuses to give up on herself. Maybe, maybe that's a better way to
Okay.
finish that sentence.
Okay.
Um, because I didn't give up on myself, I had the hard conversation, and basically the last police department I was working for, they also had spots to send people to the academy, but they were only able to fill like 2 of them. So I basically asked if they could let me have their third spot for a different police department, like the police department I'm currently working for now. They basically gave their spot to them so that I could go with everybody else at the time I was supposed to go. So stuff like that. Imagine just taking the L. Imagine just be like, damn, all right, I guess I'm gonna have to go to the other academy. No. Because that also meant I had to take another PT test. Absolutely not. I didn't take this PT test like 4 times. We're not doing it again. Sometimes you gotta come like that. Like, oh no, this is not happening.
That's a wonderful, wonderful story. And the way to answer that question, she's answered it 3 different ways. I want y'all to know. But the last thing she said was she's a queen that refuses to give up on herself. And in all of the answers, she basically touched upon that in one way or another. That she advocated for herself. She didn't back down, and she refuses to give up on herself. So she kind of answered that question all 3 ways. So I love that. I love that. So I want you, this is your last question, then we're going to end this interview because this is wonderful. I could talk to you forever. But
Yeah,
you
we're
got
yapping.
things to do.
This is gonna go
Yeah.
on for like,
So I want you to speak directly to the girl. So when you answer this question, you're speaking to the young girl. I want you to speak directly to the girl who's afraid to dream big. What does she need to hear today?
hmm, the girl who's afraid to dream big. Hmm. That's a hard question. It's a loaded question.
All you got to do is go back to the age of 9. That's all you got to do to answer that question.
I mean, like, why not dream big? I don't know. Like go for it. Like, why not go for it? And if you're gonna come up with a million reasons as to why not, prove like if it's like people telling you stuff and this that they're prove them wrong. Like go for it anyway. There's so many women who have been put down at like every step of their journey and still they knew what they wanted to do and how they wanted to do it, so they got it done.
That's right.
It's where there's a, I'll be saying this too, where there's a will, there's a way, because it really is true. Like a lot of phrases that we just use, what do they call it? Colloquials,
Colloquium,
colloquials, whatever it's called.
colloquium, or something. Yeah.
You know, they seem like they're said so often that like people kind of glaze over the true value of what they mean.
Hmm.
But
Hmm.
like no, when you really sit down and think about a lot of them, it's like, you know what, yeah. Like I do need to do where there is a will, there really is a way. If you really want to do something, you will get it done. It will happen because like we said in the last question, you're not gonna give up on yourself because you want to get it done. You're not gonna give up on it. You're not gonna back down. You're not gonna let anyone tell you no. If like you're gonna find a way to make it happen. Um and yeah. Also like YOLO. YOLO became a meme. It became a joke. But it really, you know what I'm saying? It really does hold weight. You really do only live once.
You
So
know,
why not? Why not go for it? This the only life you got to live. And yeah, you can make it to 80 or 90 something years on this earth, but it's going to flash. It's going to go by real quick. And you don't want to look back and think, oh, I should have did this. I should have did that. Or why didn't I go for this? Or blase, blase. It's stupid. Just go do it. Once again, go do it. Just go do it.
thank you very much, Ariana. That is amazing. That's right. Because I, one of the things I say is, if you're gonna tell a story, tell a good story. If you're gonna make something up about yourself, make something up that sounds great. So yeah, go for it, right? Just
Mm.
just go for it. Just live your life. You only get one chance. So
Mm-hmm.
just live it. Dream big, live big, do big things. Ha! My girl, thank you so much. Oh man, I can't wait to go back over this interview and just be like, what's going on? I love
I feel like I did a lot of yapping. Like some of those questions, I went on a little tangent. I'm sorry, y'all. You have the beard.
That's fine. See, and I think sometimes people just need to hear the details of stuff. I think too often that we just kind of gloss over stuff and just hit a couple of points. I wanted her to be able to explain where she's at with this, where she is in her young life, and where she's planning on going, and how she got there. Because I want the audience to understand, especially if it's younger people, that these are things you can do too. There's nothing that she said that you can't achieve. There's nothing that she said that's not possible for you as well. And as a person of color, I don't know who's going to be looking at this, but if there are young girls of color that is looking at this, I want you to know this is possible for you. I want to thank my beautiful, lovely daughter, Ariana E. for blessing me with her presence and allowing me to interview her for this Women's History Month. Her story is one for the books. And I just want you to remember, my good people, to celebrate your life because the more you celebrate life, the more life there is to celebrate. I will see you next time on the Comfort Zone. Peace out. Bye, sweetie.
Bye, y'all.